Hey, I'm Matt, and today we're doing an onboarding teardown of the Web3 project based on Solana, Audius. Audius is very popular, I think with over 1 million users per month at the moment. Let's have a look at how they onboard their new users. As soon as you visit the app, or at least for me as a new user, you get landed into the trending zone, where you're most likely to see popular things, or at least get a sense that things are popular on this app and are being interacted with, which draws you in. It's a great thing to do. So rather than a connect wallet button up front or a landing page to get onboarded, you get a little insight into the app before you get onboarded. Great best practice. And by the way, we'll share what they do well and what they could do better, in my humble opinion, at the end of the video. As we go along, we'll highlight each thing. On the bottom left, we have the sign up. It's got a lot of real estate on its own, but it's also not front and center, which is really nice, a good best practice. Obviously, often we say put your CTA, up front. But in this case, the focus is on the app, drawing you in, and then letting you interact with it and sign up as you go. If you have an account, it's very clear on the top left what you can do. You can sign in. Isn't always that clear, so props to them for that. We will sign up. This is one of the most important screens in the whole application, as you all know. This is where people start to fall off or get further engaged. And this is beautiful. It's a journey. They put it front and center, take away focus from the rest of the app. You're in the journey. The main focus on this page is the benefit. There are a number of them here written on the right-hand side. That's beautiful. Another best practice, leading with the benefit or leading with the value. And then the interaction is on the left. The primary focus on the interaction is email, another good practice, since potentially they're onboarding people who come from a Spotify world, for example. If all you need is an email, that's okay. Sign up with MetaMask, a secondary escape hatch for those who are passionate about crypto, love their MetaMask and want to use it. No problems there. And if you already have an account, if you click the wrong button, sign in. Full of good practices, this page. Now the journey continues. Again, the focus is on the right, stimulating you visually, and that's a really good thing to do. It gets me excited. On the left, we have the classic screen that we're all used to. There's no indication yet, apart from the word MetaMask, that this is even a Web3 project. Beautifully done so far. Recommendation for password manager, fantastic. What they could potentially add are using passkeys. That's a recent innovation, or let's say the adoption of it is recent. So therefore you wouldn't expect them as of the recording of this video to have it, but always a good practice to get there, make life even easier for Web 2 and Web 3. You have the classic password validation as you enter and continue. They've kept it simple, nothing else to distract you. This is an important step. Again, it's visually engaging and you're off to the races. Now, I've screenshotted the email you get after entering your password and signing up. I'm on the fence about this one. Feel free to tell me what you think. This is the password recovery mechanism. It's an email. It's good in the sense that you don't get any recovery codes. Potentially bad in the sense that I've never come across this happening. If you have, please let me know. And it feels a bit weird. Keep it safe. If you delete it or lose it, you can never reset your password. Given that you're potentially dealing with an in-app currency, which you'll see in a moment, this feels off. Again, they could potentially explore other means. However, technically it does the job. We continue our onboarding journey. And again, they're leading with the value. You see that if you use your socials, this is account linking, they will import these details for you. It's handy, it's helpful, so why would you not? It doesn't ask you for no reason. Secondly, if the linked account is verified, your Audius account will be verified to match. Extra bonus. Down at the bottom, if you want an escape hatch, fill it out manually, no problem. That's what I did. But again, great practice here in giving 3 options, no more, no less. Always a good idea. The visual stimulation is continuing and your excitement is growing. You're getting value at each stage and you feel like you're almost there. Now this is me filling it out manually. No problems there at all. Very simple, very straightforward. Does validation on the handle, what you'd expect. Here we move from sign up to onboarding. So the account linking was an intermediary stage. Now we're trying to engage the user into the app to start the process of them actually using it and becoming engaged with it, as well as engaging with the community. Making that easy while giving optionality is really hard. And they've done a really good job here, I think. 3 things. They've started with the featured artists, but they let you expand into different genres or all genres. So you see they're creating the smallest subset of options among all of the options to still give you choice, but provide things which, if you're not sure, you can probably just pick and you'll be okay. You're just discovering. Great way of catering to both sides of the audience. The music fanatics who probably know what they want to follow or have been recommended by a friend, and those like me who are discovering it for the first time. And the second thing is on the same vein, pick some for me. You see it on the top right. Beautifully done. Rarely see this. Doesn't tell you how it's going to do it. It doesn't even need to. In my case, I chose pick some for me. It picked some randomly, and that was good enough. I just want to get in and explore. Third, following 0 to 3 down at the bottom, giving a good idea of progress. You've done quite a few screens now. You might be getting a bit itchy. This helps negate that a little bit. Almost there now. Getting the app, again making it easy, again making it visually stimulating, and leading with value as you see on the right. Scan to download it quick, never a bad idea, and continue to carry on. I stayed on this page for a split second, but it was long enough to put the idea of the app in my mind. Now we split based on the audience. It's time finally to start the journey. Love the imagery in this one. You split based on who you are. Do you want to upload a track or do you want to start listening? This is nice. They don't ask you which you want to be when you first sign up in the initial screen. They keep you on both tracks because you can potentially be both, and that would be great for Audius and for you. So it's nice at this stage to see both are open to you and both are not exclusive of each other. We've gotten this far without knowing anything about Web3. Once again, excluding the word MetaMask. However, once we've signed up, we land here, and if you click Earn Audio on the top left, you see this screen. Now it's highlighted. It's one of the first things which you potentially want to click. It's very enticing and it's very curious. What is this $sign? I definitely want to earn some of the $sign, right? This is a bit of a problem, and we see it time and time again. Even dApps which do an incredible job of keeping things Web 2 fail at a certain jumping off point because it's very hard to blend into Web 3 as soon as you get an on-ramp. They've done a reasonable job, kept the screen simple, and buy the currency using Link from Stripe. So you could almost say that this is just an in-game currency like you might be used to, and you buy it with Stripe, something you're probably also used to using. Very friendly language used here. However, I just want you to be aware that that was the first step in potentially losing the user, because it was very friendly, but it didn't introduce you to what was going to happen next. Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know. Here we have the first mention of a cryptocurrency, Sol. It's a bit confusing. It's mentioned obviously just for information processes. You're dealing here in USD and you can buy with USD. But now as a user, I'm starting to feel like, okay, this is a bit funny. I don't know what this word means. What's going on? Am I going to be charged transaction fees? What's the crack? Excuse me for my Irishism. Not only that, but I tried to buy with Link from Stripe and it borked for me. It closed unexpectedly, as you can see here. There was an error which I'll pass on to the Audius team. Not their fault, absolutely not. Probably user error, in fact. But there is a best practice missing here. When you open an external modal, especially with such a critical step, you need to give the user a way of getting support when this happens. If not, they may drop off. And it's a terrible experience at this stage. Again, no blame involved here. There's as much as you can do here, you can do. But please, whenever you link out to an external modal, try and give some extra support, or at least, hey, send us this error, we'll get in touch with you and we'll handle it for you. Such a critical step. Now, going back for a second, there is a more info at the bottom. Wasn't extremely helpful. But this pattern that they have, the UI pattern of keeping it friendly while allowing you to expand into more info, is a good one. Very good one. And you see it here as well. If we go back for a second, show more options below buy using Link by Stripe. Again, this is the primary thing that they want you to do. If you need extra optionality, you will expand it. If you don't, you don't. So great practice there. And I did expand it because Link by Stripe didn't work. Bit more of a deep end here, but still okay. Buy with Coinbase Pay. Send, receive, manage wallets, and view transactions. Getting a little bit more confused as a Web 2 user now. If I'm a Web 3 user, I'm also kind of on the fence. You know, it's not Web 2, it's not Web 3. I'm not quite sure what it's trying to be, but it's still very usable and very friendly, which is the main thing. Now trying with Coinbase Pay. Here we have our Solana again. And this time it did indeed work for me. I didn't go through with the process. We go through the external modal for Coinbase, but this was a big problem. I needed to interact with Coinbase in order to top up my USD wallet, transfer it to Sol wallet. I needed to sign up on Coinbase, verify my account, give my details. I got lost here. I mean, I didn't as a Web3 user, you got me, but as a Web2 user, absolutely screwed. Forgive my language. In this case, big miss. Again, no one's fault. It's our fault, or indeed not just fault, our mission or responsibility as an industry to fix this, because it's the last hurdle. Look how good a job we've done so far. Let's see how we can improve it. Account abstraction, all the rest of it. Any examples you've seen do better, please send it. However, it did work. It does work. And so if you're willing to go through with it, not ask many questions, you're absolutely fine. Now, if we move back here and assume we have some currency, which I didn't at this stage, I wanted to click Manage Wallets to see what that's about. I'm just trying to understand what the Web 2 version of this is. And for me, I haven't seen Manage Wallets on Spotify or anything else, for example. Now here, the wording is very abruptly introduced, like NFT collectibles. Connect a new wallet. What's going on? So it could be done a bit better here, but if you're a strong Web3 user, not a problem. You're given 4 options. You're able to connect. Small note here, however, and we all deal with this. I think there's an EIP to handle it now, but most people haven't adopted it yet. Window.ethereum is fought over like nobody's business. And that's why MetaMask here, clicking it, open Coinbase wallet. Because I had onboarded using Coinbase, it probably took over, and MetaMask opened it up again. Also, bottom right, tiny indication of how difficult it is to deal with all of the multiple wallets across all of the multiple chains. In this case, just Solana, so we're relatively okay. But even so, handling all of the updates they do and all of this stuff is difficult. I'm not plugging Dynamic here, but I will say that it's made much easier with a service like that to take it off your hands. But again, it works. So once you get through it, here's your audio breakdown, your currency breakdown, and you can indeed see your linked wallets. Now you have a wallet address. Might want to make that a bit friendlier if possible. But again, Web3 user, not a problem at all. Linked wallets are more secure, but not all features are supported. Great piece of information, and made me curious about what that means. Again, good job of being friendly, giving them a minimum amount of things you need to know, but expanding on it where you need to. I think you can possibly see more information about that somewhere. And here we are in our dashboard and payments tab. Now we're dealing with not just Sol, not just audio, but USDC as well. Buy and sell music with USDC. This is a step too far for me. We've gone too far in the realm of like gradually expanding out into on-ramps, into the introduction of Sol, into the introduction of wallets, and now we have stable coins on top. Again, I think they need to decide who they're catering for here and either onboard you into this step, like they did in the sign-up flow, or maybe give some other modal or way of reaching it as a Web3 user. However, you can withdraw, you can add funds, no problem there. Manual crypto transfer is what opens up if you do want to add funds. Once again, deep into Web3. Now we're getting very technical. You can only send Solana-based SPL USDC to this address. You can learn more, and this brings you to an FAQ, which is fantastic. You can, I guess, deep link, or you can copy the wallet address, which is a good practice, giving optionality. However, this doesn't feel as user-friendly or seamless as it could be. If you want to withdraw funds, here's what they give you. What's the amount? What's the destination? Quite simple, and a guide at the top. Not sure what you're doing. I feel like they should do this for each part of the modal, which includes Web3 stuff. That was great to see right at the top. Here's a guide. Wonderful. Alrighty. That's a little breakdown of getting signed up. Once you're signed up, you're already signed in. The currency which they use, how it bridges towards Solana and USDC, how you handle linking wallets, how you handle withdrawing funds, adding funds, and a little bit about the app itself. Thank you.